greatest of all teachers and giver of love, hope, faith, and wisdom, look upon your children, the teachers, learners, parents, guardians, and out-of-school youth and adults. We humbly ask for your mercy and forgiveness. Guide us to the right path. May our efforts be blessed with insights and understanding, wisdom and respect for all. Bless us with patience, for the path of learning is never easy. Bless our commitment to keep on learning new knowledge and experiences. Let your light shine upon us as we make our world a better place to live in. Amen.
Hello teachers, learners, and parents. Sir Jeff po, at your service. Alam nyo ba na meron tayong website na tinatawag na DepEd Commons? Ang DepEd Commons ay binuo upang gawing accessible ang pagtuturo at pag-aaral dito sa ating bansa gamit lamang ang inyong mga smart devices gaya ng cellphones, tablets, at computers. Dito ay maaari nating ma-access ang iba't ibang learning materials mula sa Department of Education. Meron itong mga interactive materials, electronic self-learning modules, at instructional video lessons mula sa DepEd TV na tiyak na makatutulong sa pag-aaral ng mga mag-aaral galing ka man sa public o private school. Walang problema dahil welcome ang lahat dito. Para ito sa mga guro, magulang at mga mag-aaral mula sa kinder hanggang grade 12, alternative learning system o ALS, at pati na rin ang special education. At huwag kang mag-alala dahil kahit walang load ay maaari mong ma-access ang mga learning materials. Tama! Libre ito. Ang kailangan mo lamang gawin ay i-on ang iyong data at buksan lamang ang iyong browser at i-type ang commons.deped.gov.ph. Alam na ba ng iyong mga kasamahang guro o mag-aral ang tungkol sa DepEd Commons? I-share mo na ang video na ito upang matuto rin sila kung paano gagamitin ang DepEd Commons sa mabilis at napakadaling paraan. Muli, ito po si Sir Jeff at kita-kits po tayo sa DepEd Commons. Paalam!
Magandang araw! Sir Wilbur po, at your service. Narito ang ETUlay upang gabayan ka sa inyong pag-aaral upang lubos na maunawaan ang iba't ibang paksa o subject. Ang ETUlay ay isang free online tutorial class na pinangungunahan ng DepEd Educational Technology Unit sa pamumuno ni Undersecretary Elaine Del B. Pascua. Ang programang ito ay hindi lamang para sa mga bata, kundi ito rin ay magsisilbing gabay sa mga magulang at mga guro kung paano nila ituturo o gagabayan sa bawat asignatura ang kanilang mga anak o mga estudyante. Sa kasalukuyan, ang self-learning module mula sa rehiyon ng Calabarzon at kilala sa tawag na pivot ang ginagamit sa ating ETUlay online class. Kaya ano pang hinihintay ninyo? Ihanda na ang inyong mga ballpen o lapis, papel o kwaderno at samahan kaming itulay ang pagkatuto para sa bawat batang Pilipino. Sama-sama tayong magtutulungan para malampasan ang mga hamon sa panahong ito. Halina't matuto kasama ang inyong online tutor sa oras na ito.
Yan, good morning! Sir Aldrich, nakamute ka pa rin ata. Ayan, so while waiting sa magkaroon ng audio si Sir Aldrich, so good morning sa ating mga... Ayan, so good morning sa ating mga junior high school learners, especially sa ating mga grade 9 learners. Ayan, sa mga parents din, sa mga guardians na nakatutok, good morning po sa inyo. I hope na kayo po ay nasa mabuting kalagayan. So we are now on our second session for this third quarter. So last week, ginaid kayo ni Teacher Nolet or ni Tutor Nolet for music. So this week naman ay magiging kind of jump pack ang ating session for 1 hour kasi we'll be having PE with Teacher Aldrich, and then right after that we have ako po for health, and then our new tutor for Arts 9 would be Tutor Dada. Ayun. So PE, health, and then arts. So I hope okay na si Tutor Aldrich. Sir, hindi ka pa namin marinig. Checking. Kindly unmute your device po. Yan. So exciting pa naman ang ating PE for this session kasi mukhang pasasayawin tayo ni Tutor Aldrich later on kasi he will be discussing or sharing his knowledge about festival dances. O, di ba? Mukhang hahataw tayo later on. Yan. So habang hinihintay natin, we can see your presentation na, sir. Okay, wala pa rin. Sir Aldrich. Okay. Sige. Bago tayo humataw, let's focus on our health first. So, Sir Aldrich, ako muna. Daw, sabi ni Sir Madge. Ayan. Sige, share ko lang po yung screen ko sandali. Okay. Sige po. Share audio. Alright. So, ayan, we'll see kung working ng ating slides. Ayan. So we are now on actually this one is, yung topic na ito, class, is about primary and secondary survey. Kung titignan natin yung MELS, it's under quarter 3, week 1. So ganun kasi yung sa MAPEH 9 natin. We'll usually do music and arts and then PE and health. Pero okay lang kasi yung mga next weeks natin, weeks 2 and 3, magkasama naman siya. Kaya natin siyang i-discuss for the next sessions, alright? So for this week, we'll be discussing about primary and secondary survey. So ano ba yung survey na yan? Survey ba yan sa Facebook or ano? We'll find out more. And before that, we would like to acknowledge yung content po na ating session for today ay derived from the Health 9 Quarter 3 Module 3A modules from Region 7 ng Negros, entitled Unintentional Injury Prevention, Safety, and First Aid. So pag sinabi natin unintentional injury, ito yung mga injuries na nakukuha natin sa mga aksidente. So minsan, di ba, we cannot avoid accidents, but we can prevent them. So kaya nga we are actually studying this course or this subject para ma-orient ang ating mga learners and they can apply, para ma-apply natin sa ating mga buhay. Ayan. So, ang tanong muna is, are you ready? You ready with your pen and paper? Kung wala kayong pen and paper dyan, screenshot nyo yung mga important details na i-share ko sa inyo. You can have your learning modules as well. And then, ang lagi kong sinasabi, presence of mind and presence of heart. And very important na makapag-interact kayo sa amin. So you just comment your answers or your questions. Make sure lang na ilagay niyo yung full name niyo dyan, and then name of your school at saka yung location niyo. Okay? Let's begin. For this session, ang mga objectives natin ay, first, we have to demonstrate the conduct of primary and secondary survey of the victim. So yung victim na tinatawag natin dyan is yung taong na-injured. Alright? The next one is, you should know how to assess emergency situation for unintentional injuries. Alright? Sige. So this one, basically, yung third quarter natin for health, ay umiikot sa mga principles ng first aid. So I hope you can still remember kung ano yung first aid, no? So accidents nangyayari dahil sa particular situation, mga unsafe na actions natin, at minsan yung environment natin, hindi siya safe. Okay? Sa bahay man yan, or sa school, or sa mga workplaces natin, it's very important na dapat safe ang ating environment. So as health warriors, so sa DepEd TV kasi po, ang tawag ko sa mga viewers ko ay health warriors, you can prevent injuries by being cautious and being aware of safety hazards. So dapat aware tayo sa mga nangyayari at alam natin ang gagawin just in case na may mangyaring hindi maganda. Alright. Ayan. So what do you think is the profession that is depicted on this illustration? Sige nga, I want to see. Tingnan nga natin sa comment section natin. Anong profession kaya yan? I'm giving you a clue already. So this one are the first aiders natin. So ano nga ba ang first aider? First aiders are trained individuals who give first aid. Okay, so sino nga ba ang pwedeng magbigay ng first aid? And when we say first aid, this is the immediate and temporary care given to a person who suddenly gets ill or injured. So binibigay natin to while waiting for the medical help or medical attention from the medical professionals. So do you know that you can also be a great or a good first aider? Ayan. So kailangan lang natin syempre yung enough knowledge and skills. So itong session na to or yung mga di-discuss pa ng mga teachers ninyo online or sa mga modular references ninyo ay makakatulong para magkaroon kayo ng knowledge. Pero very important din kasi na we undergo a specific training mamaya. Kukwento ko sa inyo kung paano yung mga trainings nila. But for the meantime, let's discuss more about this. So konting history lang ng first aid, no? So it was actually a Swiss businessman na nag-start ng concept ng first aid. So it was Henry Dunant, 1859. Nasaksihan niya yung madugong battle. May war kasi sa northern Italy during that time. And what he did is, he immediately organized an emergency aid services para tulungan yung mga Austrian at saka French soldiers. So doon nagsimula ang concept ng first aid hanggang maitatag na yung International Committee of the Red Cross or the ICRC in 1863. So right now, all over the globe, so we have the Red Cross and the Red Crescent societies na nagbibigay ng major first aid providers natin sila sa buong mundo. Ayan, so Henry Dunant. Alright. So ano nga ba yung tatlong primary goals ng first aid? So ayan, good morning po sa ating mga viewers. Good morning, good morning. Ayan, lagay niyo yung location ninyo para at least ma-shoutout ko kayo later on. So tatlong P's. First, preserve life. Next is prevent further injury. At syempre, i-promote natin ang recovery. Tandaan sa tatlong P's na yan, ha? Those are the primary goals for first aid. And ano nga ba yung mga do's and don'ts kapag bibigay natin ng first aid? So ito yung mga do's, mga dapat gawin. Una, you have to stay calm. Syempre, kapag natataranta ka, you cannot act and you cannot think ng maayos. So kailangan, kahit medyo kinakabahan ka talaga, you have to stay calm. Next is, reassure mo na komportable at maayos ang victim. Alright? Pangatlo is check for a medical bracelet. Tulad na nakita niyo sa screen, check for a medical bracelet indicating a condition. Kasi may mga ganyan tayong bracelet na natawag. Nagsasabi yan kung anong specific condition. Primarily, kunyari, the person has epilepsy or diabetes. So meron kasi silang pre-existing condition, dapat iba yung ginagawa sa kanila or mag-ingat sa pag-handle ng mga ganong victims natin. Kapag masikip ang damit, you should loosen any tight clothing. And number 5, keep the victim covered to reduce shock. yung shock natin na to ay hindi yung shock na ano. Pag sinabi natin shock sa health, sa medical terms, it is a life-threatening condition that occurs when the body is not getting enough blood flow. So mamaya may mga tips ako para malaman natin kung maayos ba yung pagdaloy ng dugo. Alright. Ito naman yung mga hindi natin dapat ginagawa. Don'ts in giving first aid. Dalawa lang naman to. Number 1 is do not give food and drink to an unconscious person. Kapag wala yung malay, hindi mo siya kailangang pakainin or painumin. That's a major rule for first aids. Number 2, do not move an injured person unless, di ba minsan yung first, we have the tendency na gagalawin natin yung pasyente. No. Okay? Especially kapag may bali yan or something. Or pwede mo silang galawin if you have knowledge kung paano siya ilagay sa tinatawag nating recovery position. Ayan yung tinatawag nating recovery position. As you can see, yung isang hand niya, right hand niya ay nakalagay sa part ng sheet niya, tapos yung knee ay naka-stop from rolling into the stomach. Para stable. Ganyan ang position kasi para stable at yung pagdaloy ng hangin sa bibig. Very important kasi yung air circulation. Alright? So that is called the recovery position. So good morning po sa mga viewers natin from Zamboanga, Sibugay. Good morning from Batangas. Hello. At saka sa Gitsit Banalo National High School. Ayan. Good morning po. So, isa-isahin lang natin, mabilisan lang. So, based doon sa na-discuss natin prior, sino nga ba ang matuturing natin na good first aider? So, let's analyze the following situations. Student A, tama ba? Insisting that her unconscious sister drink water. Tama, mali? Siyempre, mali. Okay, kasi nga unconscious nga siya. Student B is very relaxed in controlling the bleeding on her classmate's finger. Di ba, minsan pag kakakita tayo ng dugo, natataranta tayo. Student B, relaxed. Tama, mali? Alright, tama po yan. Student C is, ayan, thank you Karen for answering. Student C is, immediately brings her friend who fell down the stairs to the clinic. Alright, that's correct also. So ingat lang kapag may mga ganyang nahuhulog, nababali, or something. Student D makes use of his clean handkerchief to tie his best friend's bleeding arm. Tama, mali? Yan, tama. Kasi resourceful siya. Kumuha siya ng handkerchief. Make sure lang na malinis yung handkerchief. Kasi baka ma-infect naman yung nagdudugong part ng katawan. Student E speaks upsetting words to her cousin. Mga na-aksidente na nga kung ano-ano pang pinagsabi, di ba? Sinisi pa or something. So that's wrong. Student E, mali yun. Huwag natin pong gagawin yun. Alright? So ito yung mga, mga characteristics of a good first aider. So you have to be gentle, you have to be observant sa mga nangyayari sa paligid, resourceful, ano yung mga pwede mong gamitin beforehand, you have to be tactful and sympathetic. So kailangan i-comfort mo yung binibigyan mo ng first aid, may malay man yan or wala. Ayun. So ganito na, ito na yung first step natin. No? So hindi naman sa mga emergency situations, susugod kagad tayo. So you have to assess first kung safe ka ba or safe yung mga taong nasa paligid mo. That's what we call assessing emergency situations. So once you are sure that the incident area is safe, you need to begin your assessment of the victim or victims. Okay, minsan kasi isa lang, minsan marami. Alright? So you have to prioritize. Kung kunyari, tatlo sila. Sino yung uunahin mong bigyan ng first aid? Okay? And tell those at the scene, baka may kasama ka doon that you are a trained first aid. Meron kasi may mga background na sa first aiding, no? And calmly take control. So laging ganun, kalmado, payapa ang isipan para makakakilos tayo ng maayos. Ayan. So punta na tayo sa primary tsaka secondary survey. So primarily, pag sinabi natin primary survey or initial assessment, ito yung binibigay natin sa mga unconscious na victim. Okay? Unconscious. Paano ba malalaman unconscious? Mamaya tuturo ko sa inyo. So primary assessment is ginagamit para ma-detect yung immediate threats to life natin. So kasi kumbaga yung first minute or mga first minutes very critical yan, di ba? So kailangan gawin natin kaagad ang ating magagawa. And another tip, no, kapag may kasama kayo sa situation, you might ask him or her na tawag kagad ng emergency backup, tawag na kagad sa ambulance or tawag na sa mga medical professionals. Ayan, so paano malalaman na conscious or may malay? So itatap nyo lang yung shoulder ng ng biktima. So, are you okay? Are you okay? Ayun. So, kapag wala, unconscious siya, proceed na kayo sa tinatawag nating ABC of first aid. So, ABC stands for airway, breathing, at saka circulation. Yan. So maraming salamat sa ating mga viewers who are just tuned in. We are discussing the first aid principles na po. So A, airway. Ayan, ang madaling technique lang dyan na tawag natin, head tilt, chin lift maneuver. As you can see on my presentation. So put your palm on the person's forehead, tas tilt nyo, tas make sure lang na walang nagbablock sa daanan ng hangin sa mouth. Alright? Airway, tandaan. A, airway. B naman natin is breathing. So paano yun? Pakiramdaman, pakinggan yung paghinga, idikit, ilapit yung tenga sa bibig ng victim, 'di ba? Tapos observe niyo rin kung gumagalaw ang kanyang chest, any sound of breathing or nahihirapan siyang huminga. That's checking for B, breathing. C is circulation. So paano natin ma-check na tama or okay yung pagdaloy ng dugo? Syempre, primarily pulse ang ginagamit or pulse ang tinitingnan po natin. So pulse ang ginagamit na ito hindi yung the thumb. So kailangan tawag dito, tignan natin yung pulse or locate natin yung pulse usually sa wrist kasi 'di ba? Sa wrist, tsaka dito sa carotid pulse natin. Kapag wala siya, pag hindi okay ang kanyang blood circulation, you can perform the CPR. I'm sure you have already heard about CPR. Or CPR stands for the cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Sir, lahat ba pwedeng mag-CPR? Hindi. CPR is actually performed lang ng mga professionals or kapag may background ka sa first aid. So, sir, ano pong gagawin kapag wala kaming background? Sige, let's try to watch this video. Mabilis lang.
In an emergency, you may need to call for an ambulance. It always helps to have an action plan while we're on our way. The one we're going to tell you about is easy as A, B, C.
Well, doctors,
A, B,
C, D actually. Remember to stick to the St. John Action Plan and you too could save a life while waiting for help to arrive.
So, let's start with D,
Danger.
It's all about ensuring the area is
Kanina,
safe.
sinabi ko, di ba? Make sure that you are not in danger. Baka ikaw naman ang ma-injure.
Electrical wires, gas,
Yan.
or obstacles. If any of these are present, only proceed to help when it's safe to do so.
R is for response.
Response.
To check for a response, ask the casualty their name or gently squeeze their shoulders. If you get a response, place the casualty in a position of comfort, check and treat any life-threatening injuries, and monitor the casualty until help arrives. If there's no response, send for help immediately.
Send. That's what S stands for. Call an ambulance by dialing 000 or ask another person to make a call.
If the casualty isn't responding, then we continue with the action plan, and the next step is A for airway. Leave the casualty as you found them, open their mouth, and look for anything that may cause a blockage, such as the back of the tongue, food, or vomit.
If the airway is blocked, put them in the recovery position like this.
Yeah, that's what we call the recovery
Tilt the
position.
mouth down and clear with your fingers.
Clear out
Gently
airway.
tilt the head back and lift the chin. This takes us into B for breathing. You want to
Check
look,
for breathing.
listen, and feel for breathing. If breathing is normal, keep the casualty in the recovery position. Continue to monitor until help arrives.
Casualty not breathing normally or unsure?
Perform for the CPR.
CPR. If you have a face mask, apply this now.
You can use face
Then,
mask
from
pala.
the center of the casualty's chest, place one hand over the other and compress to approximately a third the depth of the chest. CPR is at the rate of 30 compressions to 2 breaths. Continue with compressions at
Ay, mabilis yung
100
compressions
to
na yan.
120
Kapag we are performing the
Keep going
hand-only
with
CPR.
until the casualty recovers or help arrives.
D is for defibrillator. And if there's one available, don't be afraid to use it. Just continue with CPR, turn it on.
May device tayo tinatawag na defibrillator
So, in an emergency,
para ma-revive
remember
or
the St. John
ma-pump
Doctors
yung heart.
ABCD action plan.
And you too could help save someone's life.
Alright. You can watch different first aid techniques, no, mga procedures sa YouTube. And so CPR is a medical technique na ginagamit para i-revive ang isang tao na medyo nagkaroon ng problema sa pag-beat ng kanyang heart. So pressing the chest and breathing into their mouth. So again, this is only performed by professionals. Pero minsan kasi, may tinatawag tayo na CAB. Ayan, so CAB, parang kanina ABC, di ba? Ito naman CAB, compression, airway, at saka breathing as advised by the American Heart Association. Ayan, so while waiting para dun sa medical help, di ba? So gusto mo i-revive mo yung yung tao, di ba? Siyempre, that's one of the goals ng first aid, ma-revive siya, ma-preserve ang kanyang life. You can do the hand-only CPR. So minsan, mag-isa lang tayo. You can call the emergency hotline number. Pwede kang i-instruct ng taong kausap mo kung paano gawin yung hand-only CPR. Or, ayan, so what you can do is, you will do a 100 to 120 uninterrupted or continuous chest compressions, as in mabilis po siya, right? So you just put your left over your right or right over left, yung hand mo over the other, tapos compression, tapos kailangan diretso ang elbow mo, and then you do the different compressions. Mabilis, okay? So that's one of the best things that you can do para matulungan mo yung victim. Ayan, so that's what we call the hand-only CPR. Sa gitna po ha, ang puso ay nasa gitna. Wala siya sa left or sa right, nasa gitna po siya. Ayan. So kapag ang victim ay na-revive natin, let's say for example, you can proceed with the secondary survey. So ulitin natin na, ang primary survey para sa mga unconscious victim, pag na-revive mo na siya, or let's say for example, may nangyari sa body niya na para maging conscious siya, you can do the secondary survey. Alright? So say for example, hindi pa rin na-revive, you have to continuously do the hand-only CPR and wait for the medical team na dumating dun sa area ninyo. Kapag may conscious na siya or may malay na siya, you can do the secondary survey. So basically, ang secondary survey ay dino-double check lang natin kung ano ba talaga ang nangyari sa biktima. May injured ba siya? Ano nangyari sa kanya? And that's also the time na interviewin natin siya kung ano ba talaga nangyari. Alright? Para at least masabi natin sa medical team kapag dumating na yung help na inihintay natin. So basically, mabilis lang to. 3 minutes or less, dapat nagawa mo na yung secondary survey. At it is only composed of 3 procedures. First is the history taking. Pangalawa, i-check ang vital signs. And then pangatlo, head-to-toe examination. Ayan. So tulad ng sinabi ko, interviewin. Tapos, kung medyo hirap pa siyang sumagot, yes or no lang yung mga tanong natin sa kanya, and then magpaalam ka sa kanya kasi you will be touching his or her body parts. Kailangan may consent na dapat gagawin mo yon sa kanya. And then collect the history na. So ginagamit ng mga first aider ay yung acronym natin na SAMPLE, signs and symptoms, tignan na mabuti. Allergies, tanungin kung meron siyang allergy. Medication, may tinatake ba siyang gamot? Past medical history, meron ba siyang pre-existing na sakit or medical condition? L is last meal or drink. Ano yung last niyang ininom or tinake niya? And then, events prior to the incident. Ano nga ba talaga yung nangyari? Kasi siya yung makakapagsabi or yung mga taong nasa paligid niya. So, sample. Alright? Ayan, for vital signs, ito kasi yung mga most basic function ng katawan natin. Pulse rate, body temperature, breathing rate, kulay ng skin, di ba? So, minsan, paano ba malalamang maputla? So, i-press mo lang gently, kailangan bumabalik yung kulay niya. Alright? Blood pressure, kung meron kayong means para makuha yung blood pressure na, and appearance of pupil sa mata. Okay? Kailangan nagre-react yan sa light. Sa cellphones natin, di ba? Meron tayong flashlight. You can do that. So, gently, kung nagre-react, maayos yan. So, vital signs. Next or last stage natin is yung head-to-toe examination. So, basically, head-to-toe talaga siya. Head and neck, check nyo lang. Shoulders, collarbones, chest, sa tiyan, tas back, abdomen, sa hips or sa baywang, pelvis and hips, and then finally sa legs at sa arms, sa mga extremities niya. So, we are doing this para to check, baka mamaya meron siyang minor injuries na, na kailangan tingnan din natin siya or sabihin sa medical team. And then finally, after doing the history taking, vital signs, and then the head-to-toe examination, we can record that in mind or pwede natin siya isulat and then sabihin natin sa medical team. Very important. Ayan, tulad ng sinasabi ko, yung courses na ganito kasi, hindi naman talaga, you cannot do it, you cannot study it on one sitting lang. And it will take, dapat ma-practical, ma-apply mo siya practically. So we are encouraging our learners, our parents, mga viewers natin, you can take a first aid training courses. Hindi ko lang alam kung conduct pa sila siguro nito during the pandemic. But the Philippine Red Cross is actually conducting first aid training courses sa mga schools, sa mga individuals natin, or sa mga workplaces. Visit nyo lang po ang kanilang website sa Red Cross. Type nyo lang po sa Google. Meron doon part sa website nila ng mga in-offer po nilang courses. Alright? Sige, bilisan natin. Quick check na tayo. Tignan natin kung masasagot natin to. Number 1, what is the term given to the immediate care to an injured person before the arrival of a physician? Cardiopulmonary resuscitation, chest compression, first aid, or intensive care? Sweet. Kung may sasagot sa atin. Alright, very good. Thank you for answering, Miss Karen. Sir Jude Michael, the correct answer is C, first aid. Good job. Next, which is an objective of first aid? To prolong life, to intensify suffering, grabe naman, to intensify suffering, to end the services of a physician, or to bridge the gap between the victim and the physician. So thank you for answering, Miss Magnolia Uy, Carlin Maranan Valdez. The correct answer for number 2, of course, is A, to prolong life. Preserve natin ang buhay. Number 3, what is the first thing to do in assessing an emergency situation? Oh, sinabi ko kanina, para hindi ka safe ka din at saka yung victim. Call for help, survey if the scene is safe, do a head-to-toe examination, or check the vital signs. The correct answer is... okay, ibang sagot nila. You have to... Alright, B, survey if the scene is safe. So bago ka sumabak sa gera o sa pagbibigay ng first aid, you have to make sure that you are safe at safe yung situation. Alright, so but thank you for those who answered. Yeah, may sumagot na, Sir Roblon Oblea. Alright, you are all correct. True or false, it is good to give food or drink to an unconscious victim. Sinabi ko yun kanina. Of course, that is B, false. Wag na wag po natin magbibigay na any drink or food sa ating unconscious victim. And finally, when is the primary survey of the victim done? Kailan ito ginagawa, yung primary survey? When the victim is conscious, during the survey of the scene, when the victim is unconscious, or after the victim has regained. During the survey of the scene, the best delayed lang yung answers. Ayun. May nakakuha na ng tamang sagot. Miss Karen, thank you. Alright. Thank you for those who are answering. The correct answer is C, kapag unconscious ang ating biktima. Alright. So thank you very much for tuning in sa ating health. So there's PE and arts pa. Alright. So skip ko na ang ating presentation. Ayan. So I think we are now ready for our next tutor. So thank you so much for participating sa ating first aid principle procedures.
Hello, magandang umaga, masining na umaga sa inyong lahat. Yan, masining na umaga muli sa inyong lahat. Batiin natin ang mga nanonood ngayong araw na ito. Nakita ko ay meron galing sa General Trias, Cavite, Masagitsit, Banalo National High School. Ayan, Mangyan National High School. Sibonga District, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat at masining na umaga po. Yan. Okay, so salamat po Tutor Tony para sa isang ligtas na usapin tungkol sa Health 9. Ngayong week na ito, pag-uusapan natin ang paintings ng neoclassical at romantic periods. Gusto ko i-recognize ang pinanggalingan ng ating reference material, ang self-learning module mula sa Region 7, Schools Division Office of Negros Oriental, na ang writer ay si Ma'am Sheena Marie V. Villacarlos, Ang editors ay si Ma'am Mayflor Olarte Abuso, Mr. Jumar S. Kibot, at Ma'am Mary Rose G. Acopanda. At ang reviewer ay si Ma'am Bethel Ann S. Parco. Magandang umaga po at maraming salamat po dito sa inyong self-learning module sa arts entitled Paintings of Neoclassical and Romantic Period Influence to Philippine Art. Para sa week na ito, ang ating learning objectives, ang ating learning objective or learning competency ay analyze art elements and principles in the production of work following a specific art style from neoclassic to romantic periods. Yan. So medyo magkakaroon lang tayo ng konting recap. Ano nga ba ang neoclassical period? Ang neoclassic ay galing sa dalawang salita. Unang salita ay ang Greek word na neos, which means new, at ang Latin word na classicus, which means first class. Dito nire-revive ang mga gawi ng Greek at the Roman classics natin. Ang history nila at ang kung paano sila bumuo ng isang ang buhay nila bilang Greek at the Romans. Pagdating naman sa romantic period, nag-divert sila ng road nila. Mas gusto nila express more ang kanilang emotion, both in subtle and stormy. Andun yung pagpapakita ng height of action, emotional extremes, celebrate nature as out of control, dramatic compositions, and heightened sensation. May it be life or death moments. Ngayon, gusto ko magtanong sa inyong lahat. Yan. And gusto kong magtanong sa inyong lahat. Can you identify what is the era of the painting when it was made? Type natin kung letter A, romantic period ba ito? Or letter B, neoclassical period? Ayan. Type lang po natin sa comment natin kung A or B. Hello po kay Sir Kenji Maximo ng President Sergio Osmeña High School at ang kanyang mga klase sa grade 9. Good morning din po, watching from Masagitsit, Banalo National High School. Si Sir Jesser Magtibay, si Ma'am Cambalero Delmo, ayan, ang estudyante natin, Cambalero Delmo, ayan, Masagitsit, Banalo National High School. Hello po, masining na umaga po sa inyong lahat. Ayan. Okay, so ayan, may nagsagot ng B, may nagsagot ng A. Okay, sige, babalikan natin yan, tandaan natin yung sagot natin. Doon tayo sa pangalawang painting. Ito naman, ano ang era nito? A ba, romantic period, or B, neoclassical period? Good morning po. From Santo Tomas National High School, La Union, kay Sir Christian Ondevilla. Ayan, may nagsagot ng neoclassical, may nagsagot lahat halos ng neoclassical para sa pangalawang painting natin. May nagsagot din ng romantic period. Okay. Ayan. So sabi ni Cambalero Delmo, B, neoclassical period. Sabi din ni Letteris, Canistal ay B. Sige. Bibitinin natin dyan kasi i-analyze muna natin paano ba natin ma-identify kung ang painting ay nasa romantic period or nasa neoclassical period. Let us have a comparison of neoclassicism to romanticism styles in art. Good morning po. Una, punta tayo doon sa first 3 slides natin na kung saan ang itatanong natin sa sarili natin, what do you see? Ano yung nakikita natin? Usually, ang inspiration ng neoclassicism ay andun yung classical Rome. Andun yung inspiration nila ang patriotism, ang courage and honor. Alam naman natin na warlike people ang mga Romans, di ba? So, yun yung kanilang inspiration. While the Romantic period, andun yung medieval, Baroque eras, and Middle and Far East. How about the subjects? Ang subject natin para sa neoclassicism ay ang Greek and Roman history. Usually, ito yung nakikita natin na mga tao o mga detalye. Sila yung subjects natin. Okay? Romanticism naman, usually makikita natin o mapapansin natin, andun yung legends, andun yung violence, exotic nature, or minsan mythology. Ayan. Pagdating naman sa ating role of art, ang neoclassicism, it's morally uplifting. Diba? It's motivating, it's inspirational. Ang romanticism naman, andun yung dramatic, it carries away the viewer. Ayan. Okay? Pagdating naman sa color, alam naman natin, ang color ay nagsiset ng mood ng isang painting, okay, or ng isang visual art. Para sa neoclassicism, ang values niya, pag sabi kasi natin values, this is the lightness or darkness of the color. We add white to make it lighter or tint. Nilalagyan natin ng dark color or ng black para maging shade naman siya. And for the values, ang pinapahayag ng neoclassicism na kulay o na values ay order and solemnity or formality. Romanticism naman, andun yung intuition, yung emotion and imagination. Yun yung pinapahayag niya sa kulay. While in the tone, it speaks of the color pa rin. Tone and values goes hand in hand in the color, in the definition of the colors. Neoclassicism, it's calm and rational. While in the romanticism, it's subjective, spontaneous, and non-conformist. Ayan. So, mapapansin natin, may pagkakaiba yung ating neoclassicism and romanticism na style. Now, let's proceed to the lines. Sa linya, it's a moving point to point pag sinabi nating line. May dalawang classification yan. For neoclassicism, it's linear, wherein the strokes or the lines are sharply defined or controlled yung brush stroke niya. Pag sabi naman natin painterly, ang brush stroke naman niya ay very evident. It is not controlled. Okay? Kung linear ay well-defined. Okay? Ang romanticism, kitang-kita mo yung dulo nung brush. Okay? Na nagpipaint, o nakita mo na painted siya on the canvas. Now, proceed tayo sa technique. Sa technique ng pagpipaint. Stress drawings with lines, not color, no trace of brush strokes. Yan ang technique for the neoclassicism. For the romanticism, it's unstrained, rich color, visible brush stroke. Which is, ano pa rin, related pa rin doon sa ating diniscuss kanina or binanggit kanina na klase ng linya. And para sa texture, okay, para sa texture which is element of arts natin din. The neoclassicism is smooth. Kaya nga ang pagpipaint niyan ay well-defined and controlled. It creates a smooth texture. While the romanticism, there are often visible brush strokes. That's the difference of the two pagdating sa texture. Okay? Now, pagdating sa composition. Okay? Composition or space, meron tayo diyang foreground, yung nakikita na malapit sa viewer's eye natin. Background, ito yung malayo doon sa viewer's eye view natin, at yung nasa gitna ay the middle ground. Neoclassicism, mostly the figures are highlighted. That's why it is in the foreground, nasa unahan, nasa harapan. While the romanticism, andun yung diagonal crowded position, the use of diagonal, or andun yung marami siyang detalye na tao, kaya there are crowded compositions. So that is how the paintings or the visual arts of the neoclassical period and the romantic period being presented. Yan. Hello po. Ayan. Kat Rodriguez, hello, magandang umaga. Ruber Bond, good morning. Christina Libres Nabasa of Bliss Elementary School, Poblacion. Ayan. Agusan del Norte, magandang umaga po at masining na umaga. Okay, ngayon po, i-identify natin kanina tinanong ko kayo, ano yung era nung painting when it was made? Yan. Balikan natin yung mga nagsagot kanina. Okay, may nagsabi ng B at may nagsabi din ng A. So, ang tamang sagot ay B. Ayan, isa dyan si Queen, Liza, Andre Dupan, Christian Zemog. Ayan. The title of this work is Oath of Horatti by Jacques Louis David. Okay, but hindi pinapronounce yung letter sa dulo because he is a French painter and that is how it is being pronounced. It's Jacques Louis David. Yan. So yan, tama. Si Ma'am Lolita Eledros, it's from the neoclassical period. Yan. Yung pangalawa na painting natin, the era came from, ano sagot? May mga nagsagot kanina ng A. Ayan. May nagsagot kanina B mostly. The correct answer there is Romantic period. This is Liberty Leading the People by Eugene Delacroix. Okay, Eugene Delacroix. Ayan. So, alam nyo na kung paano natin identify kung from neoclassicism yan or from Romantic period. Okay, going back to dun sa topic natin na elements. Let us analyze these two paintings from the neoclassical and from the Romantic period. All you have to do is to comment the thumbs up or heart. Ayan. Comment thumbs up or heart. Kung ano yung tamang sagot. Okay? Again, we'll analyze the paintings and identify its elements. Are you ready? Ayan. First, what is the subject of the painting? Is it Roman history or legend? Is it Roman history or legend? Thumbs up ba or heart? Thumbs up ba or heart? Yan, sabi ni Julie. Maloloy on ay heart. Sabi ni Sarah Capio ay thumbs up. Sabi ni Jude Michael ay heart. Sabi ni B11 Padagas. Okay? The answer is thumbs up. Ayan. Makita natin ang subject ng painting natin ay ang mga Roman soldiers. Yan. Very good. Mahusay. Next. Describe the style of the lines in the painting. Thumbs up kung ito ay painterly style. Okay, kung saan controlled ang less restrained ang brush strokes or less controlled. Linear naman kung ito naman ay controlled brush strokes. Ayan, may mga nagsabi na thumbs up, thumbs up. Sabi ni Johan, ni Lolita, Ma'am Lolita, ni Ma'am Karen, Ma'am Jessica, thumbs up. Heart naman po si Ma'am Camiaris, Jamela, thumbs up. Heart po si Joshelle, Karen. Ayan. It's linear. Ayan. Mapapansin natin doon sa mga fine lines or controlled lines or defined lines natin. Okay, next for number 3. How was the painting being composed? How was the painting being composed? Most ba ng mga subjects natin ay nasa foreground or ito ba ay nasa background? Thumbs up ba yan or heart? Again, pag foreground, malapit sa viewer's eye view. Pag background, nasa likod, malayo sa viewer's eye view. Ayan. So sabi ni Hannah, ni Miss Hannah ay thumbs up. Sabi ni Christian, thumbs up din. Sabi ni Sarah Carpio ay thumbs up. Ni Sir Kenji ay heart. Okay, sabi ni Rizalyn ay thumbs up. Ang tamang sagot ay, ayan, may ilaw siya. Okay, it's thumbs up. Tatlong thumbs up pa para kay Jude Michael. Okay, very good. Ayan po, nasa malapit sa viewer's eye view natin ang ating subject. Okay, ang composition niya. Next, number 4. Describe the role of art shown? Is it inspirational or is it dramatic? Is it inspirational or is it dramatic? Thumbs up ba yan or a heart? Look at the facial expression. Look at the emotion. Okay? So, sabi ni Karen Rosales, it's a heart, heart, heart. Sabi ni Joshelle, it's a heart. Jude Michael, heart. Okay? It's dramatic. Okay? It's dramatic. Next, describe the texture of the painting. Is it smooth ba or visible ang brush strokes? Kung smooth, thumbs up natin yan. Kapag hard, visible ang brush strokes. Ayan, sabi ni Patrick Malen Moreno, I heart. Aaron de Guzman, heart. Karen Vedan, I heart. Sabi ni Algin Gamboa, I heart. Okay. So, ayan, makikita natin, there are visible brush strokes na mapapansin natin, especially on the area wherein the cloud is being represented in the painting. Last. Ayan, last na po ito. Okay, so, describe the painting of lines in the describe the style of lines in the painting. Is it painterly or linear? Thumbs up kung painterly yan. Heart naman kung linear yan. Ayan. Tingnan natin. Thumbs up. It's painterly. Wherein there are less restrained and visible lang ating brush strokes. Okay? So, thank you ang active ng ating participants. This is now the summary. If you have your notebook with you, isulat natin yan para madali natin matandaan. Ayan, thumbs up si Myla Rihino. Ayan, okay. So, kung wala naman po, you can screenshot our presentation para mas madali nyo matandaan kung ano yung pagkakaiba ng mga elements ng neoclassicism sa romanticism. Okay? So, hello po ulit. Masining na umaga sa mga nanonood. Good morning from grade 9 ng Kalumpang National High School, Ma'am Hana Inente Rico. Ayan. Hi, Sir Da. Hello po. Hello po. Nicole Natividad. Yan, ng Caloocan. School sa Caloocan. Hello po. Magandang umaga po sa inyo. Maraming salamat sa panonood. We also have from Masagitsid, Banalo National High School again, Mr. Jude Michael Botardo Hansalin. Magandang umaga po. Masining na umaga sa inyo. Good morning po, Mark Jeremy. Ayan. Salamat po sa inyong panonood. B11 Padagas. Maraming salamat po. Okay? So muli po, maraming salamat po. Abangan po natin ang mga tutorials natin para sa MAPEH 9 sa mga susunod pang linggo. Muli, ako po si Tutor Dada at naghahangad po ako ng isang masining at malikhaing buhay habang kayo ay nasa bahay. Magandang umaga po.
Sigurado ako na marami ka na namang natutuhan sa ating ETUlay tutorial session ngayong araw. Tandaan, ito ay hindi lamang para sa ating mga mag-aaral, kundi pati rin sa ating mga minamahal na guro at mga magulang na kaagapay natin para maituloy ang pagkatuto sa kabila ng nararanasang pandemya. Patuloy ding sumubaybay sa DepEd TV para sa mga araling ginawang video episodes. Mapapanood ito mula Lunes hanggang Sabado, alas 7 ng umaga hanggang alas 7 ng gabi sa inyong mga telebisyon. Abangan bukas mula 1:00 ng tanghali ang iba pang aralin sa ating ETUlay free online tutorial session sa Filipino. I-like and subscribe at manatiling nakasubaybay sa ating ETUlay tutorial session sa DepEd Edtech Unit FB page at Educational Technology Unit channel sa YouTube at sa DepEd Tayo at DepEd Philippines social media accounts. Paalam!